Righty then, should we look at the 5 things that we may or may not have learnt from last night? And that absolute barrel of laughs that was. Right, first up, let's start with number 1. Inexcusable. 80 minutes against 10 men at Old Trafford, Everton, and we lose. Before the red, I thought United were asking a lot of questions. They were causing Everton some dramas. Now, Gary Neville in his commentary, which we talked about last night, but even Amorim reckoned that Everton were the better team with 11 and with 10, and that we deserved to lose. I don't know if that's him. I don't know what he's doing there. That wasn't the case. I mean, you can be disappointed with how United played. You can think that we could have played better, but you have 70% possession. You have 25 shots. You can't tell me that the other team were the better team. It's just nonsense, isn't it? The issue for me was tactics and execution. Absolutely. But it didn't start great. There was a lack of intensity. There was a tempo that we were happy to play against, which we didn't make any sort of attempt to change. Before the red card, after the red card, after half-time, it was just one gear, and that was a problem. You've just given Everton their first league win at Old Trafford in 12 years, the first side to United lose at home to 10 men in the Premier League era. It wasn't a bad night. It was inexcusable. And it was subpar across the pitch. No urgency, no movement, no one demanding the ball, just no one able to take a game by the scruff of the neck. Bad decisions all over the place. So the manager of the touchline, the shape never changed. We never asked extra questions of them. We kept that 3-2-5 the entire way through. At no point did we go, do you know what? Let's put an extra man forward. Let's put an extra man in midfield. Let's take someone out the back line because Everton aren't pushing forward. They're not trying to attack us. What can we do? You just built up a decent bit of an unbeaten run. There was a bit of optimism creeping back in. You could have gone 4th with a win last night. And then you serve that up on the 1-year anniversary of Amorim's first game. That feels very much like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. In the course of 90 minutes. Like, United are fragile at the moment. Confidence is fragile. You put in a performance like that and all of the goodwill that you've just spent the last month building up just completely slipped away. Number 2, Zirkzee comes up short. We were just chatting about that in the office, right? And I mentioned it during the game last night. When it unravels for Zirkzee, it fucking unravels quick, doesn't it? Think back to that Newcastle game where he got subbed off after half an hour. And you could see that happening again, couldn't you? It's brutal. I feel for him. I have empathy with him because he's weird, man, because you can see that there is a footballer in there. He can do something absolutely lovely. Drop a shoulder, roll the ball over, beat someone with just a change of angle, play a lovely pass, or he can bring it down with a fantastic first touch, get on the turn, and then kick it out for a throw-in. And you just think, oh my God, like, I can see there's a player here. I don't know if he needs momentum. I don't know if he needs confidence, but I can see he's trying to make stuff happen, but when it comes unstuck, oh boy, does it come unstuck, and it really unravels for him, doesn't it? It's his first league start in 225 days. Straight into a game where you need the striker to live in the box, to sniff out chaos, to try and bully against 10 men. He ain't bullying Tarkowski. Tarkowski left one on him early doors, and he didn't really have a sniff then. And we didn't adapt to having a different style of number 9. And this was my thing the other day about how do United do this? How do United deal with this situation? Because without Sesko pushing and stretching the line, the job of those 2 number 10s, the Mbuemo and Cunha as your first choice number 10s, is to play in between the lines and then stretch play laterally. When all 3 of your forwards want to come to feet, it's very easy to defend against. Nobody was offering anything in behind. Every single person wanted to play to feet. And that's Zirkzee's natural game, to drop off, to link play, to work in the pockets. Wingbacks aren't delivering killer balls. So what you ended up with was nobody asking questions in the final third. The best that we got was Ahmad, when he was in the centre before we moved him over to the right, was actually getting a dribble going on. And that looked like it was dangerous. That might have ended up being fruitful. And then we took that away when we put him on the right-hand side and brought him out in. You have to have different profiles of player, or move Mbuemo to the centre and ask him to be the focal point. I think Zirkzee might have just finished his United career. I think that might be... He might have just signed off his United career with that performance. And he was unlucky with the header. But that's the point in it. Yeah, Pickford made a great save. A couple of big saves from him. The header, especially. But the manager clearly doesn't fancy him. He's given him an opportunity when Sesko's unavailable, and you just don't feel like he's going to score a goal for you, do you? And you go, yeah, nice player. He's got tidy feet. What's the top end for him? 6, 7, 8 goals a season? At best. You know, the link play can be good, but someone's got to run off him. His link play was safe. Back to Bruno rather than trying to get on the turn and play somebody in. Maybe because there was no 1-2 running off him. But if Cunha or Sesko are fit, Joshua Zirkzee doesn't come off the bench. He doesn't get a run out. And after that run out, I don't think he should start the next one either. I think United have to figure out something else. You know, I think his United career's done. I really do. I don't see how he can operate within this system without something else changing around him, and I don't think the manager likes him enough to work with him to do that. Match days are full on. I am out early, I am on the pitch, and I am moving constantly. I'm coaching, I'm shouting at the players, I'm encouraging the team, and before I know it, the whole day can have gone. That's when I get that moment when I realise I've not even eaten today. And that used to be where I'd slip up, grab a takeaway or whatever was quickest, and it never really did the job. So now I take a Huel ready to drink with me, and it's a complete meal in a bottle. It's got 25 grams of protein, it's high in fiber, 26 vitamins and minerals, so I know that I'm actually fueled and not just filled. Also, it's plant-based. It tastes good, and there is no messing around. No prep, no shaker, no cleanup. Just throw it in my bag, and I know that I am covered. And honestly, that has made a massive difference for me. Not on the quiet days, but the busy ones, the real days. So this video is sponsored by Huel, and if you want to try it out, go to uk.huel.com/StephenH10. That's StephenH10, and get £10 off your first order. That's uk.huel.com/StephenH10. and the code StephenH10. Number 3, wingbacks. In this system, the wingbacks are your wingers. And yesterday, we got nothing out of them. Dorgu was poor. Mazraoui, I thought, intelligent footballer Mazraoui, but I think none of his crosses did anything. Even though they looked better than anybody else's crosses, that I think factually, none of his crosses found a United player. And then you bring on Delo. Less said about that, the better. And then I think you completely nullified Ahmad by moving him over to the right. So out of the 4 people who played in the wing-back positions yesterday, none of them give us anything. If you go back to the start with Mazraoui and Dorgu, we got nothing out of them. I think Dorgu's a real good option when you're in a scrappy game and you're going to get questions asked of you. 10 men at home against Everton is not the game for him. He's going to end up with far too much of the ball, and I just don't think he's got the ability of a top-level Premier League player with the ball. I like his physicality, I like his engine, I like his attitude, but the ability's not there. And you need the ability, you need all of it. He's not got the ability, he's certainly no Antonio Valencia, or even if he had just the one trick, stand him up, knock it with the outside of his foot, go around the outside. Could he learn that? Maybe. But right now, he doesn't deliver anywhere near enough for us. And there's still a lot of square pegs going in round holes. Mazraoui's a fullback or a wide centre-half. He is not a wing-back. Dorgu, far too raw or lacking the correct level of ability. Delo, like I said last night, he's got to check inside on his right foot for the 25th time because the previous 24 times didn't work and they're not expecting you to do it again. And Ahmad, I thought he was wasted out there. He has been good out there, but maybe he's good out there when there's a little bit of space to run into. When it's a low block, he gets wasted out there. When there's 9 people inside the box, there's nothing for him to run into. Ball goes wide, someone takes a touch, the cross isn't on, we pass it back and we recycle it, and you think, right, Everton were happy for that. And they were happy for us to put floaty crosses in from 35 yard out because Tarkowski's going to eat them up for fun. It was a big tactical miss, that, from Amorim. If your wing-backs aren't being dangerous, you've got to adjust. You've got to either move those 10s wider, you've got to put an extra person in the middle, you've got to take a defender off, put a dribbler on, have someone that's going to ask questions of the defence by running at them. With VAR and the way referees give fouls for anything nowadays, just have someone just fucking driving into the box. Someone will trip you up. And it's not the great way to win. And it's not something that you can rely on. But fuck me, is it effective sometimes? This system demands better from the wing-backs, especially against low blocks. And we don't have it at the moment. Maybe with Cunha, maybe with Sesko, you might have got away with that last night. But with the team that we put out, when all 3 forwards want to go to feet and the wing-backs are trying to invert and put it towards the back stick, it was poor. I'm trying to think of the word in here. I can't think of a word that explains just how dumb it was. It was dumb thinking from us. It wasn't professional, ruthless thinking. We didn't play intelligent football. Number 4, who do you blame here? Players, manager, both? It's both, right? First 20 minutes are about basic things. Intensity, second balls, moving the ball quickly, and we did none of that. Oh, the moving of the ball quickly was just like, that was an alien concept to Manchester United. Casemiro and Bruno looked so far off the pace in transitions. Bruno's forcing low percentage Hollywood stuff all the time. Luke Shaw at centre-half looked miles off it. He offered nothing. You got Euro put in his probably like equal worst performance that we've ever seen for him. Zirkzee offered jack shit up front. Ahmad looked good until he got moved over to the right and then he looked lost. And Mbuemo was trying really hard, but fuck all came off. Mazraoui, again, love him as a footballer. Nothing was coming from him in terms of danger. Delo was just shit. Dorgu was poor. Like, genuinely, the only player that I think comes off that pitch and goes, well, I didn't completely and utterly shit the bed today, is Matty De Ligt. Everybody else, I would have had you in at 6 o'clock this morning and just fucking run the legs off you. Is it smart? No. Is it punishment? Yes. Does it work? Not necessarily. But you got to do something because you can't allow that level of performance to go unpunished. Can you? You can't. It was just shit. And what's on Amorim? Yeah, the players are bad. Yeah, fine, whatever. But the shape not changing when you're a man up against, like, you know David Moyes. I know you know who David Moyes is. I know you know that as soon as they get 10 men, goal up, David Moyes might as well have literally gone, fucking game on. I don't now have to do anything. I can put a 9-man wall behind. I can force you to stick it in the air where Tarkos is just going to get his big fucking melon on it. And I can just deal with it. Why have we got 5 at the back when we are trying to score a goal against a low block? Come on, man. I know you. I fucking do this in training for at least half of my training sessions every week, right? Attack versus defense in one half of the pitch. Drill it, drill it, drill it, drill it. I know you've done that. I know you fucking do that. I know you're probably doing that this week. I know that you have scenario training where you're going to be like, right, you're playing against, like, fucking hell. This is one of, like, for anyone that's into coaching or thinking about coaching or anything like that, scenario training is a fucking great tool that every coach uses or should use. 1-0 down, 10 minutes to go. You're playing against 9 men. Attack versus defense. Go. How many training sessions you've been part of where that is the thing? And you have to take risk. You're not going to do it unless you take risk. Where the fuck was the risk? Like for like substitutions and everyone staying static. It was like Lou Van Gaal was back in the fucking dugout. I stand on this fucking spot here and I pass to that guy who's in that spot over there. No one was like, give me that. Let me drop a fucking shoulder and go on a mazy little dribble. I don't know if it was just before or just after the red card. And I don't even know which player it was off the top of my head. We've forced Everton back into their box with a bit of pressure. And Bruno has jumped rather than just screened and delayed, because that's what he does. He's that far up. It's right around the D. Everton player has turned out and he's gone on a drive and he's drove the ball 60 yard, played a pass, and Everton got, I think they might have got a shot off from it. And you just think, who the fuck in our team is taking the ball and going on that level of a drive? I think it was before the red card, because I think it was Idrissa Gueye that did it, right? And you just think, who the fuck is doing that in this team? Going on something like that. I don't understand the substitutions. I don't understand why you've got someone like Shea Lacey, who's someone that operates in brilliant in tight spaces like that, and we just fucking drill him. Number 5, Nervy look ahead. We're 10th. We're on 18 points after 12 games. On one hand, you're level with the champions. Well done. Champions who fucking lost like 6 in the last 7. Oh, and you're also level with Everton. You're miles off Arsenal at the top. Not that a league title was within our grasp. This league is insanely tight. A win last night could have seen us into 4th. Instead, we're in the bottom half of the table. You have a couple more missteps and you've got no Europe. And you're looking at 12th and 13th, wondering how the fuck you got there. Or you win a couple of games on the bounce and you're in the top 4 and you're thinking, fucking how did we get here? Between now and New Year, you've got 6 league games. You've got West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth, Villa, Newcastle, Wolves again. Not free hits, but games that you absolutely can and should be looking at winning. You do win those and you're in the hunt for a European place. You don't win those and you're back in mid-table fucking la-la land. And I don't think 8th is enough to keep Amorim in the job. Palace away on the 30th of November next week. You've got a 9-game run, if you added the early January games, that are going to absolutely define the season. And you're going to be missing some boys for AFCON, and you're going to be missing Sesko for the next few. And before AFCON kicks off, if you stumble through December and then you lose Mbuemo and Ahmad and Mazraoui, you're sleepwalking into another seasons where 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th is the best you're going to do. So last night wasn't just about dropping 3 points at home to Everton. It's an absolute warning that this squad is paper thin. You do not have the confidence, the squad, or the ability to be able to just coast through games. You treat Everton at home with 10 men like a stroll and you lose. If you treat any of the next fixtures like that, you're getting chewed up before Christmas. And if you don't fix it now, you're going to be back in the same cycle come January. And we're going to be looking at a manager shortlist again very soon. Right, me and Ronnie are going to be live later on. Come and join us with all your questions. And player ratings will be out later tonight. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.